Back-to-back weekends of themed afternoon teas in Hamilton. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and the Yummy of Afternoon Tea, Persona 2026 edition. A tea friend and I had the Mad Hatter themed tea at Persona in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada in July. Even though it had only been 11 months since I was here for tea, she wanted to try their Mad Hatter themed tea, so I couldn't let her go alone. Of course I said I'd come with. Before we dive in, I have to explain that everything came to our table all at once. Timestamps of my videos. Tea 107, Scone Box 108, Tiered Plate 110, like whoa. And the table was jam-packed with things. Once I realized this was nuts, I asked if we could also have the table beside us to fit everything on the table, and they allowed us to move them together, which is why you see things spaced out after the mayhem of everything arriving to our table within 2 minutes and trying to squeeze everything onto it. This isn't their first day serving tea. Why wouldn't they give people more space to begin with? It was not busy here. Tea. There were 8 tea options, which was on the low side. The only Earl Grey variety had lavender, and I do not like soapy flower flavors, so I chose the peach black tea. Last year they had Earl Grey cream. Where did that go? My friend chose the lavender tea, and she said it was good. Everything came so quickly, and we were so very flustered for space, so I didn't really have time to enjoy the taste of the peach tea. I can't speak about its quality because I didn't take time to inspect or savor it. I remember thinking it smelt really good as I was pouring the first cup. Of course, I would prefer a yummy Earl Grey tea, and I would prefer a bit more time to have a cuppa before the food arrives. Don't rush her. All right, we can dive into the good aspect now, and for me, that was the visual presentation of the food. It looked very well put together and very thematic, especially the sweets. Very impressive in look and on theme for Alice in Wonderland's Mad Hatter Tea Party. So that was very well done. I'd like to cover the other titles of this review, and then I'll dive into the details on the food in terms of taste. So while I'm at it, the bad here was that the sweets didn't taste as good as they looked. Details to follow. The ugly, nothing was ugly. I like the modern feel of this Italian restaurant, and the food was not ugly in the least. Parking was $20 in the lot beside, which seems inflated, and that's pretty ugly. The yummy, my favorite bite by far was the vanilla scone, details forthcoming in the food descriptions. We like to start with our savory bites, and here we each had 4 items. There was a mushroom-filled tart shell, a cream cheese phyllo cup topped with roasted carrots and pistachios, an egg salad sandwich, and a smoked salmon and cucumber roll. Because I don't like salmon and my friend doesn't like mushrooms, we swapped for each other's items, which is why you'll see 2 mushroom tarts on my plate and 2 salmon rolls on hers. The menu said this was coronation egg salad with curried mayo, but neither of us tasted any curry at all, and that's not a flavor you'd miss if it was in there, so was it in there? I found it quite dry and it needed more mayo to be sure. The dark layer is a slice of rye bread in the middle to make it a double-decker. The bread was not completely dried out, but also was not top-notch fresh either. This sandwich needed some help. The mushroom tart was good. I love mushrooms, and these were nicely cooked. I think this is the food service tart shell that we often see. It tasted good with the mushrooms inside. The carrot phyllo cup was tasty. The menu said the white was a chèvre mousse, but it didn't taste like goat cheese to me. I only noticed a cream cheese taste and texture. The carrots and pistachio was an enjoyable flavor combination. In terms of salmon cucumber, my friend reported that the salmon roll only had a whisper of salmon on it, but that it tasted good. She was actually more impressed by the savories than I was, so maybe that salmon cucumber made all the difference to the savory experience. I'd give the savories like a 6 out of 10. Moving on to the scone tier, which in this case was served in a wooden box. We each got a plain vanilla scone and a blueberry lemon scone. We love when 2 scones are served per person. And for some reason there was an extra plain scone in our box, which must have been a mistake, as it's an odd number for 2 guests. Bonus! The scones were served with strawberry jam, some creamy mixture, and marmalade. All right, so the menu called this clotted cream. You see that, right? This is not proper clotted cream. It was much closer to butter in texture and flavor. I do think they altered it in some way because there was a slight nutty flavor, but this was much closer to straight butter, and certainly not clotted cream. Broken Record, Queen of Afternoon Tea, would like to remind you you cannot call it clotted cream unless it's coming out of a jar imported from England or made using the proper heating cream method. You cannot just mix your choice of random dairy products and call it clotted cream. This is a no from me. The vanilla scone was delicious. I liked the texture, the flavor, the size, everything about it. And I love butter, so this tasted great with butter and jam. The blueberry lemon scone, I felt mine was overbaked. This was actually my main complaint during my summer 2025 visit. Overbaked, almost burnt scones. So it's too bad that they are still overbaking their scones. There's no reason to do so. As a result, I did not enjoy the blueberry scone, but I did try a bite or two. I much preferred the vanilla scone, so I focused on enjoying that covered in butter. Blueberry scone, 2 out of 10. Vanilla scone, 8 out of 10. Fake clotted cream, 0 out of 10. Butter, 10 out of 10. Now, on to those impressive-looking sweets. Like, how cute and on theme are all of these items? There was a blue caterpillar who was too big for his own good. Mine fell face down on the table, trying to crawl its way onto my plate. Oof! Somehow, this gelatin caterpillar didn't break its nose. Then, there was a Eat Me toadstool, which was able to safely make it to my plate, followed by a We Are All Mad Here Battenberg cake, which I could not get off the plate. The outer icing was totally stuck. Then a Mad Hatter Pocket Watch macaron and a Queen of Hearts Linzer-type cookie. And finally, a Drink Me potion. Like, these look seriously impressive for Alice's tea party. However, the taste was a different story. Remember a couple reviews ago in Halifax at the Willy Wonka-themed tea? I made the point that themed teas sometimes forget to make things taste good, that they are too focused on the theme. The Willy Wonka one at Creme was able to do that, make things look good and taste good. Sadly, this wasn't the case here. In short, the Battenberg cake was too dry, and the marzipan, if it was marzipan, was too thick and too sticky. The toadstool was a pavlova and was a tasty tiny bite. The Linzer cookie was soggy and not crispy like a cookie should be. And that huge caterpillar? Well, the menu said it was a blueberry bavaroise Breton sablé guidance. I know a sablé is a French shortbread-type cookie. Google says a blueberry bavaroise is a Bavarian cream, a light silky dessert made from a custard base and gelatin with whipped cream folded in. The internet said that guidance is not a thing. In French pastry, guidance is not a standard dessert component, and it is likely a typo or transcription error on the menu. Okay, so maybe it was that lattice thing on the top? I gave my friend the other end of my caterpillar so she could try it, as she wanted to take hers home to her niece, and I didn't want to eat mine anyway. For me, this caterpillar was very pretty, but just tasted like a mouthful of gelatin. I did not care for it. The macaron clock was also very cute and on theme. It was a vanilla flavor and very sweet. I don't ever like these cookies, so this also wasn't for me. The Drink Me potion was Lychee Strawberry Crush, Everessence Boba. I wanted to taste the boba without the crush, so this wasn't practical. The boba was good and the crush had a nice tart flavor. As you can see and hear, the sweet tears did not meet my taste and texture expectations, nor live up to how nice they looked. Appearance of the sweets 9 out of 10, taste and textures of the sweets 3 out of 10. This afternoon tea cost $65 per person on this visit. That's $18 more than 11 months ago. Maybe because of the theme? I'd say $65 is high for this quality of food. It needs to taste better to deliver on that price. IMO. My Queen of Afternoon Tea rating for this experience is dropping to a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was 3.7 last year, because food needs to taste good and not just look good. Have you tried Persona's afternoon tea yet? Which item looks most impressive to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe and follow, an easy way to support my review efforts. Thanks, tea friends!